Good morning. Welcome to Friday's Success Formula session. We do these every single morning inside our private group. Today's going to be a little bit different because today I'm actually going to be sharing this with not just our private communities, but I'm also going to be sharing it with my free Facebook group. It has over 3,000 members in it. So this is going to be actionable advice that everybody in my sphere of influence needs to hear. So it's expanding outside of this private group into the free Facebook group as well. If you're watching from the free Facebook group, we do these every single morning inside our private communities. In our private communities, your call. You can pay to be in one. One of them's free. They both have access to these success formula sessions every single morning. And the goal of these is mindset, because mindset is 70% of the work, being in the right frame of mind. And then also because it's easy to get discouraged without a community. And so the goal of these is to inspire more community and to help everybody grow. So we do these every single morning, and you can join them if you want to join either of those communities. I'll have the links in the comments. If you're watching from inside the private community, or if you're watching live, then obviously you already have access. But that's what we're doing. And today is a message that every single entrepreneur needs to hear. So actually, every human needs to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share a whiteboard with you, and I'm going to talk to you about what we call levels of competence. And this isn't based on intelligence or skill set. This is based entirely on mindset. So there are 5 levels. Those are our 5 levels. So level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. By the way, these levels are ordered at what actually produces results. If you're in level 1, you are already winning. If you're in level 2, you are probably either already winning or you're going to be winning very soon. If you're in levels 3, 4, or 5, you're probably not winning. And the further down you go, the harder it's going to be for you to win. Now, 5 has a really cool slingshot effect, but you want to be in the highest level of competence here. You want to be thinking at the highest levels. So if you are level 1, by the way, inside our community, there are a couple people, not very many. There are a couple people who are level 1. Those are the people who are already crushing it, by the way. You're going to see that how you think is going to dictate how you perform. It's that simple. If everything is identical, but you think differently about it, that is a big enough factor that it actually is the driving factor on the results that you get. So level 1 is positive, active. So it's positive, active. This is, I can do it, period. And if you're in level 1, if you're in a positive, active mindset, then you're the kind of person who has a solution to every problem. You're the kind of person who doesn't need a roadmap to say, I'm going to get there. You're the kind of person who says, if it doesn't violate the laws of physics, then why can't I do it? I will be the first to do it. I'm going to do it. And that is taking an active role in your own life. By the way, you are an active agent of change in your own life. You have the power to dictate the life that you want. That is a simple fact of reality. And if you believe that, you can access that. And if you don't believe it, then you will not have access to it. Positive active is the belief that I can do whatever I want, period. Level 2 is what we have as a positive passive. Positive. So inside our private communities, we have 1 or 2 people who are positive active. They're absolutely crushing it. They're already winning. They're going to keep winning. And then we have probably 3 or 4 positive passive. Positive passive is a great place to be. This is not a bad thing. Passive sounds bad. This is not a bad thing. Positive passives is that all I need to know I can do it is to see that somebody else has done it. So this is where Roger Bannister, the first person to run the 4-minute mile, would have been a positive active. But everyone who's ran a 4-minute mile since is positive passive. They see somebody did it, and that's enough for them to know it's possible. Because, by the way, the very best evidence that something is actually possible is that somebody's already done it, right? So as soon as I see that it's been done, I then believe that I can do it. And I will follow a path, and I will not be the trailblazer. I won't have all the arrows in my back, but I'm going to follow the path that the trailblazer blazed, and I'm going to get to the same goal. I'm going to get to the same destination. And that, by the way, is actually my hope for all of you. I want to be a positive, active guide that allows all of you to be positive, passive. That way you can get to my end goal without taking as much time as I did. That way you can share my success without having to incur my scars. That is my entire hope for everybody here. Positive, passive is a great place to be, and it's also really, really important that if you're a positive passive, that you're very learnable and you're very willing to do whatever is asked of you. Next, we have a neutral passive. Neutral passive, I think this is probably the majority of you in the free group, and actually, honestly, probably the majority of you in the private communities as well, whether we're Facebook or they're private. I think most of you are neutral passive right now, and neutral passive is the first spot that you really do not want to be. And as we start going down this list, you're going to be realizing, yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah, that sounds like someone I know. Yeah, yeah, that's true. So neutral passive is, we'll see, we'll find out. But yeah, I'll go through the process and we'll see what happens. Right. And so this is, if you're trying to get in shape, you don't have the conviction that you're going to get in shape, but you say, you know what, we'll try and I'll show up and I'll do whatever you tell me to do and we'll see what happens. And this is the first level of failure because you're going to see that people who are in here are kind of split 50-50. Sometimes they end up actually doing enough to see results, and sometimes they don't. Because, yeah, I'll try and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Isn't very engaged. It's not very involved. It's not very insistent. It's not very persistent. It's not very focused. And so you end up just like doing half measures. And when you do half measures, you tend to get half results. So there's a low probability of getting results here. And this is where I think most people in general, but also in our community, most people are here, and that's why they're losing. And you need to change your mindset if you want to win. Then next, level 4, we have what is neutral, negative. Oops, I'm sorry. This was supposed to, yeah, I wrote it backwards. My bad. This is supposed to be negative. This is another NP. Next, we have negative passive. Here we go. Negative passive. So this is, it won't work. That's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work. And it is that simple. It's probably not going to work. And that is just a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think it's probably not going to work, then it's not going to work. Okay? And then the interesting ones are actually the negative actives. Okay? Negative. If you're negative active, I've been negative active before. When I was negative active in the first business coaching program that made me money, being negative active actually slingshotted me. It slingshotted me up to being a positive active individual because negative active is I'm going to prove this won't work. I'm going to prove I'm a special snowflake and it's not going to work for me. And I think what happened for me experientially is I was probably neutral passive. I was like, we're going to see if it works. I tried a ton of things and I had no reason to believe this was any different than anything else. And I did not yet understand I was the problem. So I said, yeah, I was very neutral passive. But then I got on a coaching call and the guy told me it's really super simple. You just do these couple of things. He swore me out. He said, just do it. And what happened was I said, all right, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove that your system is not that good and it's not that simple. And so I did it to a T. And then I made a lot of money. I went, oh, it is that simple. And then I was suddenly a positive, active individual. And then I've been a huge advocate of him ever since. In fact, the same guy has charged me a lot more since then and gotten me a lot worse results. And I'm still a huge fan of his because he still did help me with the biggest barrier that I've had. And that's what I want to do in this call right now. For those of you who are negative active, who think you're a special snowflake, who think that your situation is different and this will not work for you, and you want to prove that it won't work for you, or you just don't believe it's going to work for you, but some reason you're here, or you're just very passive and you're not sure. If you're in these lower tiers, here's what I want you to hear. You have a choice to make. You can either be right and poor. You can be right and broke. You can be right that it's not going to work for you. You can prove that it's not going to work for you. You can prove that you're a special snowflake and you're right and you're justified in all your beliefs and you don't make any money. Or you can make money. You can either be right and broke or you can make money. And you have to make that decision. And the reason that I'm sharing this with the entire community, I'm sharing with the Facebook group as well as the private groups today, is because I want more of you to make that decision. And I want you to either be in or out. If you're going to be in, be in. Be positive, active, do what needs to get done. Make up your mind. Stop trying, right? In the Matrix, right? Morpheus, stop trying to hit me and hit me. Or in Star Wars, do not try, just do. There is no try, right? Stop trying to win and win. Stop playing business and start making things happen. Stop pretending like you're trying while putting in half measures and start going all out like there's no other thing that you could be doing and this is going to work. Or get out of my community. You can be right and broke, but I don't want right broke people with bad mindsets in my community. Just don't. So leave. Or make up your mind that you're going to be positive active or at least positive passive. You're going to start making the radical changes that are necessary to get the results that you want in life. Because until you are willing to make that decision that you're not a special snowflake, that things aren't excessively unique for you, that you aren't destined for failure, until you're willing to make the decision that you will win, until you make that decision that I'm going to win, period, until you make that decision, you do not deserve success. Make the decision to go all in. Join our private communities so that you can grow with our community. And I will see you tomorrow.